Hey Gemini, how are we? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are doing the monthly readings, so looking ahead at June and what is in store for you. Okay, so we will be looking at general messages as well as love messages, splitting the month, start, middle, and end. I am using that format once again this month, and make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the readings. We do have the shadow work reading coming up very soon, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. This week we are going to be using the cosmic messages as well as the rising moon lenormand to look at the general stuff, and then when we look at love messages for you, we have the forest spirits oracle cards as well as the romantic lenormand. Okay, so definitely trying to get sort of two distinctive sections to the reading today, the general and the love. All right, so starting off for you, Gemini. Starting off, the oracle decks will just sort of be a bit of an overview for the entire month, and then with the Lenormand we will delve into the start, the middle, and the end, and the sort of more detailed messages for the month. But just in general for Gemini for the month of June 2025, what does Gemini need to know for June? June messages for our Geminis. Okay. Flying one out there. Look around and find some signs. The universe is speaking to you. Okay, so definitely paying attention. There's some signs of things going on around you at the moment that you do need to be aware of. We will clarify that because quite often when I see that card, there is clarification that sort of can specify some of those signs to keep an eye out. Give your inner critique a vacation day. Be kind to yourself. Okay, so tell your little inner voice, okay, we're chilling this week, this month, we're not going overboard with the critiquing ourselves. I am actually getting given, I do quite often give this one out as a homework kind of activity for people, that every time you do find yourself, find that little voice telling you something negative about yourself or critiquing something that you've done or the way you've said something, every time you catch that, then come along to yourself and say, okay, well, every time I say something bad to myself, I'm going to, come back through and stop, take a second, say something nice about myself, no matter how small, just finding something, oh, well, I feel like I did really well with that today, or, oh, my hair looks really good today, or whatever that may be for you, counteracting those little negative thought patterns with a positive thought towards yourself. All right. Just clarifying the signs around Gemini for June. What does Gemini need to pay attention to throughout June, please? The universe speaking to Gemini. What is the universe trying to get Gemini to pay attention to in June, please? Masculine energy and the book. Okay, you can see this particular masculine has the guitar there, so definitely paying attention to, if you see an actual masculine playing guitar throughout the month of June, that there's something, in around that energy, or, it's kind of drifting yourself towards that. Paying attention to, the guitars in music. And if there is a certain song that plays and you're very drawn to the guitar sound in that song, there may be messages for you in that particular song within the lyrics, or whatever. There may be something, it may be trying to get you to just pay attention to what's going through your mind when you hear that, or see that person playing guitar. For a lot of you though, with the book here as well, I do feel as though this is specific for some of you here, that there's something here about, because the book quite often talks about education, learning. So I do feel for some of you there is something very specific about guitar lessons, or a very intelligent, well-educated male. So quite literally being given signs either toward that particular person or from that person. You maybe sort of walking through a crowded street and you do sort of see a masculine and you're overhearing something that they're saying and they sound like really smart. Listening to that may actually have some little clues for something going on in elsewhere in your life. Just so little random things, anything to do with masculine energy. I do feel it is coming through very strongly as an actual male, so very interesting. If you're hearing guitars or seeing a masculine playing guitar, a masculine talking about teaching guitar or learning guitar, that can definitely be something trying to grab your attention here as well. With the quite literal book symbol too, there may be a book that you see and it has some sort of image to do with a male and a guitar, something like that. In the book or on the book or something along those lines. It's just, those signs, the universe trying to get your attention to pay attention to, what's going on for you around that situation. It doesn't always necessarily mean it's the male with the book or the male with the guitar that is, saying something. It can always just be, whatever's going through your mind at the time, paying attention to the feelings that you have at that kind of moment, those sorts of things. It may be sort of trying to actually blast your attention to your little inner critique and to pull yourself up on that at that given time as well. Clarifying June a little bit further for our Geminis. Start, middle, and end of June for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know for June, please? What does Gemini need to be aware of during June? Start, middle, and end, please. 222, please. Thank you. Sorry, I do that a lot in personal readings as well, and everyone thinks I'm talking to them, but no, I'm talking to the universe, guys. Okay, so the start of the month, we actually have the flowers followed by the ship here, and straight away seeing that ship, give your inner critique a vacation day. The ship can quite often talk about vacations, going, traveling, going somewhere. Pardon. And the flowers is literally, giving. So giving that inner critique a vacation, giving yourself a vacation at the start of the month here. It doesn't even need to be a huge vacation. It could just be, taking a day to yourself, curling up in bed, taking a day out, to the local park where you're, just taking a vacation from your thoughts and, the things going on in your life, giving yourself a little bit of space, giving yourself a little bit of adventure as well, giving yourself, giving some time, attention to travel plans in the future. This actually could just be travel plans that you're making in the future here, Gemini, but obviously something significant at the start of June. For some of you, this does feel like actual physical travel or travel plans. Whereas for others of you, it's more about just taking some space to yourself and giving yourself that space, giving yourself that vacation, even if that is just in your head space here. It's probably because coming up in the middle of June here, we have the Scythe and the Tower. So something coming in quite suddenly. So, making sure at the start of the month, we are taking some time to ourselves. We are allowing ourselves some space and that, holiday from our own thoughts kind of thing, because come the middle of the month, you're going to be broken out of that energy because there's going to be a lot of things happening very, very quickly for you in the middle of June here. The Scythe really does talk about unexpected sort of plot twists happening and things coming in out of nowhere, very very sudden, unexpected stuff. We do have the Tower there as well. So, not only is that a break from isolation, so you may find yourself very spread thin, I suppose, on a social aspect. You may be sort of having to get very, very involved socially, or, I'm picking up here that for some of you, there is, it's like you're having someone come stay with you at the middle of June. And so, you thought you had all this personal space, and then all of a sudden you have no personal space. You've got someone all up in your business kind of thing. So I am picking up on that for some of you there. That could be quite a few things actually with that tower energy. The tower does talk about, foundational energy, things within the core of you yourself suddenly changing, changing the authorities that are in your life. So for some of you, it could be like, you know, for some of you, it is coming through with the authority side of things. It is coming through a little bit here as like governmental type authority. So there may be some sort of changes going on around. Um, it's not being very specific with that, but but for some of you, there is a change coming in that's got to do with, the authority in your life changing, and it's got to do with like some legal or governmental type change happening around you here. Um, no, it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to go into any further detail on that. I feel like there's only a couple of you though. It could be like bosses changing, that sort of a thing. Like the people that you're having to answer to at work and things like that, they may be changing. Some sort of authority changes happening around you, and it just sort of shakes your foundation just a little bit. Um, I do feel, once again, I am getting this strong message of the isolation is changing. So you're not going to be isolated. You're going to be, it feels like very, very busy with other people, very muchly up in your business throughout the middle of the month there. So see how that plays out for you, I suppose. But then at the end of the month, we do see the clouds and the heart coming through. So, I'm kind of getting a couple of you there going, so, oh, we don't really care about the general messages. We just want to get to the love messages. And especially at the end of June here, that's what you're kind of like, I just want to get to the love stuff. I don't want to, worry about all these other things going on in my life. I just want to get to the love stuff. I just want to, whether it be love with platonic relationships or, romantic relationships, it does sort of look like your mind very heavy on love, and what unconditional love means in your life, around your life. What are the things that you love in your life? You do seem to be sort of maybe even overthinking a little bit, but very, very muchly up in your head about love, which is kind of contradictory and energy there, because love space, you're coming from your heart, whereas the clouds energy, it's coming from your head space, your thoughts, and so that's probably why you are getting a little bit confused about what's going on for you and what you do actually feel passionate towards here. So don't be surprised to have a little bit of confusion at the end of the month when it comes to especially with it seems like the foundation is sort of shaken up a little bit around the middle of the month there. It kind of puts you a little bit unsteady footing of like, oh, well, for the example of, this is changes in the people that you're having to answer to at work, for example. Because that's a little bit of a shaky thing for you, it kind of makes you sort of question, well, what even is it I love about this job? Do I still love this job if I have to deal with these people? Or was it the person that I was dealing with before that I loved that aspect of the job? It just sort of makes you sort of question yourself a little bit, I feel, at the end of the month. And for some of you, I am getting a strong family connection here as well. So it's like that shake up that's happening is like all of a sudden you've got people around you. So like that example I said of, some of you may be having people come sort of all up in your business, all in your space. You may have family coming to stay with you unexpectedly. And that kind of gets you into that questioning moment of like, oh my God, can I really stand these people? I love them because they're my family, but can I stand them? Do I actually like them? I know I love them, but do I actually like them? It just feels like a bit of, thought overwhelming you, overthinking things, overwhelming you a little bit at the end of the month there. So just be aware of that as well. Okay, but moving on to actual love. Gemini. Overview for Gemini for June when it comes to love and romance. Love and romance in June for our Geminis. Wise counsel. So this is like that masculine with the guitar in the book showing up again. Because, you know, like I said, it does seem to be, you know, just in general, there was that, you know, like I said, with the very well educated, so, you know, wise kind of person that you're, you know, so you may actually be getting information directly from this person. Um, so those signs that you're receiving from the universe may actually be quite direct for some of you, it coming through in the form of advice about your love life. Okay, so this is the tree spirit card. Like the wind whispers to the leaves, your higher self gives you guidance now. So that's kind of like, you know, those signs are trying to point you to listen to your higher self and listen to, you know, the inner wisdom that is trying to sort of get through to you, that you kind of already know where you're going here, but you just kind of need those confirmation, reassurance signs from the universe, or from, you know, or you just need that advice from someone. It's like hearing someone else say it, or seeing some sort of confirmation of that external to you, makes you kind of realize, oh yes, I did already know that, and that's the path I was sort of already walking down with that. Okay, love. What's going on for Gemini in June when it comes to love and romance? Start, middle, and end of June for Gemini. Definitely seeing some prominent energies all mixed in with what we saw in your general here as well. Okay, so the start of June, where once again we're seeing that ship coming through here. So definitely some movement happening for you at the start of June, one way or another. Like I said, this could be, you know, planning travel. For some of you, you may actually be meeting someone in this travel. We have the masculine there as well. So, you know, we are seeing that masculine twice. We are seeing that ship coming through twice. So you know, this wise male may actually, you know, once again be offering you advice to do with travel, or maybe that's somehow connected to you meeting this person with the guitar while you're traveling, or, you know, and travel doesn't need to be this huge travel. It could just be, you know, an hour up the road, going somewhere you don't normally go, that sort of a thing. So it's definitely coming through at the start of the month that you are moving in the right direction one way or another when it comes to love and romance. Okay, for those of you who are you know, single, you may be seeing the introduction of a new character into your love life at the start of June here. For those of you who do already have people in your love life, there may be, you know, with the ship there, they may actually be traveling. They may be there might be some distance between you. It may just be emotional distance between the two of you, whether that's you creating that, or this other person creating that. Now, you know, I am strongly feeling that we're seeing a male represented here on the opposite side of you, Gemini. So, you know, but if that's not resonant for your situation, it definitely could be a strong female with a strong masculine energy. But it is seeming to be coming through as a male external to you here. The middle of the month, we do have the garden coming through first. So once again, I am strongly getting that meeting this masculine changes things for you. It sends you in a different direction. You know, listening to their wise counsel, or trusting your intuition when it comes to, you know, where you're being guided, the signs that you're being given around this masculine. Uh, you definitely are. It's an interesting meeting of the minds kind of energy here in the middle of the month, because this is talks about meetings. So for some of you, once again, this could have to do once again with work stuff as well. Some of those changes coming through that you may be having to compromise a little bit more. You may be actually having to attend, meetings through work and things like that because, this is changing, that's changing. You're no longer isolated, da da da. So we're seeing similar themes coming through in the love stuff here as well. This is also my date card as well. So being that this is in the love section, I do strongly feel that for a lot of you, that may be an actual date, an invitation to an event, those sorts of things that you are having happen around the middle of the month there. But once again, for the middle of the month, because we're seeing, not only are we seeing repeated cards, but they're in the same placements. Okay, that ship energy was at the start of June for both those pulls there. And then for the middle of June in both pulls, we're seeing the Tower. Okay, so there's definitely this strong message here about something to do with the authority around your life, changing and having to meet somebody halfway, having a meeting about the change of authorities happening, because we did see in the general that was connected to, changes that are happening, very sudden, unexpected changes that are happening for a lot of you here. The Tower could actually just be expanding on who this masculine is for some of you as well. It may be somebody older than you. It may be somebody from your past. Quite often it can be, even all the way back to childhood with the Tower there, because once again, it's your foundation, the foundation of who you are, and the foundation of who we are is created when we are children. So definitely could be somebody you've known from childhood, and with the garden there, this could actually be a very, maybe it's an unexpected encounter with this person, all sort of coinciding all at the same time, and it's shaking things up. It's, rocking your foundation in some kind of a way. I do feel as though you may be learning something. I am just getting that with such strong messages of, the book, which is learning and seeing the signs as they're occurring for you here, and the tree spirit with wise counsel and things like that. I do feel you may actually be learning something in the middle of June here that kind of does shake your foundation a little bit, or changes the way that you're viewing, the authorities around you. So for some of you, it could be things like viewing, because when we're children, as an example here, the authority in our life is our parents. So it could definitely be, changing your perspective on something around that sort of stuff as well. Once again, it seems very muchly seems connected all to this masculine energy. Then the end of June here, we do have the crossroads as well as the snake. Okay, so we do, once again, seeing a similar kind of message. The snake is kind of that contradictory energy we saw with you being up in that clouds energy, overthinking things, trying to come from a heart space, though. So we do see a very sort of clear decision needing to be made at the end of June. Which direction am I going to go here? What choices am I going to make here? Because, with the snake, that's once again a bit of confusion coming through, because it can be like an illusion, like you're not sure which direction is real, which direction is, the right one to choose. With the crossroads here, I do feel just in general, you are on the right path, whatever choice you make here. It is sort of feeling like this is all just the path of how things are going for you, and that confusion seems to be part of your path at the moment. The snake also does, bring up ideas of, like I said, it can be illusion, that it's like, are we deceiving ourselves about the path that we're taking? Are we being tempted into something? But we do see strong themes of passion and desire coming through with the snake as well, which, is reminiscent of that heart energy, that, you're thinking about the passion, the love, the desire for something, but you're questioning yourself, am I deluding myself into thinking that it's passion, it's desire, or is that just a temptation? Is that just a physical, carnal type thing? Am I choosing, the right thing if I choose to follow that, or should I be making a more logical decision here? I just want to get one to clarify, just for some advice for you on that one. Advice for Gemini in regard to the crossroad and snake at the end of June, please. We have the cross, which kind of just says, have faith. No matter what choice you make here, it's part of your destiny. Have faith, trust the universe, and once again, pay attention to the signs that you're being given this month, because the universe is trying to point you in the right direction. So you just kind of need to trust your spiritual self and trust that intuition is taking you in the direction you need to go here. Listening to your higher self. Trusting the universe a little bit, that destiny is at play. Even if you think you're using your free will there, even if your free will is definitely on the table, so is destiny. So fate, it's fated to happen no matter which choice you make. All right. So free will's funny like that sometimes, that sometimes we think we're using our free will, but it's actually that was the destined path anyway. So very interesting sometimes, but that's what we have for you today. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.